Welcome back to Afternoon Express. I hope that you are having a wonderful Monday afternoon in your self-isolation. Now, Bradley van Reenen grew up in a loving home in Cape Town and showed promise of a career in soccer. However, during his school years, he was exposed to the world of drugs and alcohol, which led him down a really dark road to daily substance abuse and ultimately multiple attempts at suicide.
It was after a spiritual encounter that Bradley turned his life around, and today he uses his voice to inspire and motivate others. So if you have any comments or questions that you would like to add to the conversation, then head over to our social media accounts and remember to use that hashtag Afternoon Express. Welcome to the Loft, Bradley.
Good afternoon, so good
I
to
feel
be
like
here.
I want to elbow you, but actually, you know, upon thinking about it, I think Cyril Ramaphosa got it a bit wrong because you cough into your elbow all the time. So we should actually do a little, you know, those since you're a footballer.
Yeah.
There you go.
I love that.
Yeah. I mean, the boy's got skills.
I know. That is definitely one way to say, hello, I have arrived.
Yeah.
With a little bit of a
And we're having a ball.
Yeah.
I love that. And something that you are having a ball with is all the inspiration and the motivation that you impart onto others. But I just have to start at the very top. You call yourself an inspirational misfit and guru. I mean, that title is quite intriguing on its own. Can you break that down for us?
So when I started off in the beginning on this journey of inspiring people, I was trying to categorize myself. And I checked the specs out of the various categories, and I discovered I don't fit the specs of motivational speaker or coach or... And then I realized, okay, so if I don't fit the specs, then I must be a misfit. But I love inspiring people. So I'm not going to duplicate. I'm not going to compete. I'm going to create. So I thought, you know what? My life, only live once. I'm going to create my own path, inspirational misfit. And have you asked the question, why that?
Yeah.
You know what I absolutely love about your story is because it just goes to show how quickly somebody can get caught up in the wrong thing. Loving family, so much amazing promise with football, and then it probably happened really quickly for you that you had one joint or whatever you had and your life took a spiral. What happened? Like, what happened?
I think at that stage, I was in a moment of transition.
Yeah.
Like many of us have gone through transitional moments. Moments where we have to take certain bends. And sometimes we get the bend and sometimes we miss the bend. Moments where, from the inside, the rush of many different emotions and not knowing how to manage those emotions. Not having the guide to say, okay, at this particular bend, in this particular emotion, right, lean just a little bit to the left or lean just a little bit to the right, or break over here. And it was at those moments where because there was no voice to say, throw the bend, take the bend. It was in that transitional moments that I believe so many, we kind of miss it in those moments. And when I missed it, got caught up into a web, and what seemed as though it was a way out actually became a way down.
But how can kids recognize those moments now? Like if there's little boys sitting at home thinking, you know, if their friends are handing them a joint or whatever, how can they recognize that as oh, this is a moment that can actually change a path in my life and I need to stay away from this?
I think it comes back to two dimensions. The first is the vigilance of the parents. Creating the space for a young person to kind of just share and to be and to speak. And then that young person who does not necessarily know where do I find myself at right now and what's going on in me right now. And if that support system is not there, it can become quite daunting. And then to young people out there, it's important to not focus on what seems as though it's a high moment, because sometimes when we look at things on the outside and we think that, wow, they look happy, or that looks like it's making them happy, we've got to dig a little bit deeper and ask a bit of questions. So if I do decide to venture down this route, what is the outcome of it?
You know, That's such brilliant advice. And, just with Corona, being the topic, I suppose, of the moment, I was watching these videos of people pushing these carts filled with wine and alcohol, amongst other things, so that they can, stay at home and stuff. That's obviously not going to be the best way of self-isolating. And I think it's going to be quite difficult for people to be spending 2 weeks with minimum social engagement as possible. How do we stay motivated? And, the same way as you got out of your lulls, how do we stay motivated in really tough times?
I think important for us to understand is the difference between faith and fear. Fear creates a paralyzing type of situation where faith creates this hope for a better tomorrow. And so important for us to, in this time, I believe, even though there's minimal contact, try and find, number one, that voice of inspiration on the inside of you, so that you can start having that internal dialogue and say, tomorrow will be a better day. Then I absolutely love internet as well for this reason.
I'm addicted.
That though we are not, though there might not be social interaction, there are many different mediums where we can find inspiration via this medium of the net. And so we have to go on the search as an individual to stay motivated. We have to go on the search to find that inspiration. And so whether it's a, hey, I love you text, or hey, I'm thinking about you type of text, and hey, I can't be with you right now, but you're in my thoughts, and this WhatsApp gets us closer. Whether it's something like that.
So Bradley, just speaking about your transformation and all the things that you've accomplished in your journey, you've put together not only an incredible MPO that is I Am Passion, but you've also created a toolkit, which I think is genius, which is I Got It. I love the titles that you put on everything because it truly makes you feel like, indeed, I do got it. So how can people interact with the work that you've put together? And firstly, what's it about?
So I Got It, the toolkit. It's not necessarily a book. I like to call it a voice of contention. So it contends against every false voice on the inside that tries to deny who you are. And so the reason why I call it I Got It was because sometimes we feel that we need to add on to get it, right? We need to add on the fingernails, we need to add on all of these different things. We need to dress well to make us feel as though we've got it. But then I thought, no. We don't only have it when we add on. We were born with it. I don't know if you know that song we used to sing in the sports. Sy het het, gebore met het, right? And so that's the type of song we used to sing in the sports. And so what I Got It speaks to is your internal composition that you've got it irrespective of whether you have the degree, whether you don't have the degree, whether you have the nice car, whether you don't have the nice car. You've got it. You were born with it. Right? And what you've got is potential, and potential is limitless. And if you can understand that I've got it, and I've got potential, and it's limitless, and whatever I pour my potential into, it can take the shape thereof. Man, then I've got it.
I like that.
The world is as small as big.
I just want to learn that song. Say it again, the sports walker. Ik het het.
Ja, ik het het, gebore met het.
Ik het het, gebore met het. Oh, there you go. We've got such inspiring individuals on the show today. And of course, after the break, we continue the conversation by looking at how we can instill the same motivation in our children, especially during this current global crisis.